eating on camera. I really don't. I don't have a choice right now, you guys. I'm getting fucking huge again. So, if you had the option of having your own private security team ride around with you all the time, you don't have to pack no heat. You don't have to make anything happen. You don't have to buy tickets to anything. Your whole security team, your whole security team would go before you and handle everything. They would handle everything, so it'd be like, here you go, sir, let's go. You have quite the life. You live the charmed life. Maybe you're a man that worked 30 fucking years in some incredible field, maybe in STEM or something like that, or military. And so you have a lot of recognition, a lot of power. A lot of your abilities have carried over into your retirement life, and you live the fucking life fantastic. Now, also, how about this? How about every time your car broke down, you could call AAA, except it's not your AAA. In fact, it's nobody's AAA. Your AAA doesn't cost anything. And they come in and fix your car or give you a tow or whatever, and you're on your way. Wouldn't that be nice, man? We're going to get to that. Man, we're going to get to that because this is important. We have all been subject to it, indirectly or directly. We've all been volunteers or victims. I would choose volunteers because when men want women, they do stupid shit that just like changes their mind. Oh, I meant to do the video on this. 1 tomato, 3 eggs, and 4 potatoes, the small white potatoes, all together. And it's good enough. Okay, so simping ain't easy, but there is dudes doing it, and there are more simps than there are strong men. Now, I enjoy taking care of women when they're good to me. In fact, you'd be the biggest dummy in the fucking world to be a bad woman to a guy like me. A guy like me can change a woman's life that works at fucking McDonald's. But a girl that works at McDonald's can't change my fucking life for the better. And that's not to say that money is not the issue. However, a girl that works at McDonald's can put on some fucking L'Oreal and get hit up with DMs from football players and basketball players and billionaires and guys on yachts, just from changing their face, and get flown out to anywhere in the world. What do you call that? That's awesome. If I was a girl, I'd be the biggest fucking whore in the world. Well, not now. I don't think you want to be a 50-year-old whore. So if I had a security team around me all the time that did all my bidding for me, that is exactly what ladies are doing with men. They're kept. They need anything done. Oh, I got a busted pipe in my house. They have a codex. And here's the codex. Here's how you determine if you are simping for a girl or not. Because you might not even be aware of it. You're going to have to take notes on this one. You're going to have to take notes on this one because it's a long one. It's a long one, man. See, simping is basically putting pussy on a pedestal It says that their needs are more important than yours when there is no reciprocity in any way. Reciprocity in any way. They don't women don't respect simps. They use simps. And simps, because they're thirsty to possibility of getting pussy from this girl, are willing to write their fucking whole paychecks over and hand it to, let's just say, going to a strip club. You know? And that's basically what it is. Simping, and here's how you determine if you have been hoodwinked. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry, man. I let's see. Okay, that's a good question. Okay, it's taking care of an ungrateful girl being a simp. If you're obligated to take care of somebody, then like my own daughter was a pain in my ass the whole time. And treated me like I never paid child support, and her mom alienated her from me. I'm financially obligated to my own daughter, so I'm not obligated to a girlfriend. Girlfriends and big investments, okay? See, a simp will have their name saved in their phone as like Tim, mechanic, Bobby, movies, George, pharmacy. All these dudes line up and get to know some girl. I'm just like, I could give you guys the soup to nuts A to Z version if you really like to see how it goes. They actually target weaker men. They assume that all men are thirsty. That is number one. Step one is realizing they assume everybody's a simp. They assume that every fucking man is going to bow down to them. That's basically what this means. It says, I am a woman, so therefore I have value because just for the very fact that I'm a woman, and you ought to pay for my shit, fix my car. I've done all this shit. I was the worst simp in the fucking world. Okay, but I think every man goes through this until they find the reality, which is a red pill of reality, like in the Matrix. You take this red pill and you're disconnected from the fucking Matrix. And you realize overseas is better, or you realize that where you live is shit, or you realize that your job isn't what you thought it was and you want better. You guys will simp for your boss. It's just basically the same thing. It's like simping for your boss for no benefits. None. This is a service dog. You guys ever seen service dogs for veterans? That's what they look like. How about that, huh? Anyway, all of that aside, simps make life difficult for normal men because they're paying for all the shit, and they're going to assume that we would do the same thing when we don't. High value guys don't buy fucking chicken for nobody. They got to earn that shit. That's the difference between simps and guys like me. Rock Era's here, she earned that shit. And then Randy, shut up! Hey guys, shut up. No, she had to earn that shit. She knew how I felt about being dicked over by so many fucking women. Guys, realize something. I'm in Latin America. If you think that coming down here is gonna keep you from fucking cheaters, ha! You don't have any idea. It isn't in deep entrenched in sex culture, though. They haven't sexualized the children here. But there are cheaters because the men are notorious cheaters. Okay, again, 3 eggs, 4 small potatoes, 1 tomato. You want to find garlic salt if you can deal with garlic salt. No, if it's your girlfriend, and she is reciprocating the same respect If she is bringing value to you in some aspect that you find equally as value what you're giving her, then no. But if you're just handing money to some bitch who happens to be overseas holding a bookmark for you, and when you see her, she has a distance to it now, then you're wasting your money. Then that might be simping. But no, look at it like this. Simping is guys that are deep, hard in the paint on women's side, period. And they will defend chicks' bad behavior. And I'm serious. They will literally go on forums. We'll talk about paternity fraud because I'm a father's activist. Come on, there's 30% paternity fraud in the United States. So when someone comes to me and says, what do I do? I just tell them the name of the nearest attorney that does paternity fraud investigation and a forensic auditor. These guys are experts in their field, and they live where that person lives. I'm not an expert. I just want to help you go in the right direction. So you don't fight with that person, you don't have problems with that person, and you have been simping for that person the entire time you were with them. So a person who literally takes advantage of men for money, the person that is willing to give that person money unknowingly that their person is not reciprocating the same respect or value, that is simping. And a simp enforcer is even more dangerous, you guys. How many of you guys know what a simp enforcer is? Okay. A simp enforcer is a man that when a woman appears to be in some sort of conflict or danger, will step his ass into the lion's den to defend her. And a lot of times they carry guns or they get shot by the police. And what's fucked up is that when a simp enforcer or a boyfriend of a simp enforcer, when a simp enforcer gets mad, they're usually emotional, weak men that were raised by single mothers. You know, guys that grow up in fatherless homes end up in prison more than guys who don't. These are the same guys who become simps and become simp enforcers because they are codependent on their fucking mother still. Mentally, their mother abused them to the point where they felt dependent like a person with Stockholm syndrome. Couch gang, it's right. I hope I didn't miss something. You know, it always sucks because I don't read scripts. I go off the cuff with something I absolutely know something about, okay? So if that person is not reciprocating value to you in the form of, could be sex, normally it's sex. If you're paying somebody, no, you're not paying somebody, you're paying somebody's bills, you're paying somebody's expenses. That means that they're bringing something to your table that is more valuable than your money. Money doesn't mean anything to me whatsoever. I have created this whole Sigma lifestyle in my mind, realizing I had been one my whole life. Because A, I don't spend money on women, period. I don't celebrate fucking holidays. I don't do none of that bullshit. Okay? I cannot be manipulated by money or by women. Every ex-girlfriend I've ever had has gone and tried to catfish me after the fact, knowing I'd be on some app. And they would send like fake profiles. It's clearly them talking. And it's crazy, okay? Okay, she will get so angry at me for not responding and not doing anything like that, that she'll have some dude hack my computer, write me shitty messages on my fucking phone, posing as a stupid shit, psychopath shit. Those men are simp enforcers. They do the bidding like a private security team so that bitch don't have to do dirty work, beating a guy up or getting into a fight. So they can provoke all this shit. Hang on a second. I want to thank you guys for making enough noise for me to leave you outside. Good for you. Congratulations. You played yourself. So a simp enforcer is the most dangerous motherfucker around because these are the dudes that shoot people for getting mad or having some conflict with a woman and it has nothing to do with them at all. I know you guys have seen these videos where dude's in Taco Bell, and he's standing in line, and maybe the girl is snappy with him behind the fucking counter, and she calls her boyfriend, and he comes over and whoops this dude's ass, and the cops come and fucking shoot him. That's the extreme why you don't want to be a person's fucking personal tampon when they're having fucking boyfriend problems with the guy that she's fucking when you're not around. And insane, right? But it's true. It's a fact of life in and around overseas. I'm going to choke this dog out. He needs to stop barking. And you know what's crazy? It's the Labrador. It's one of the best dogs one of the best service dogs that we have. And he is a barking fucking machine. And I'm like, kids, what the hell? We got to train this dog to stop barking all the time. I don't know anything. See, this is the thing. Simps and simp enforcers are the same, but one is more extreme than the other. So you and I might be fooled into becoming a fucking simp. Shut up! Get in here. Now shut the fuck up. Guys, I apologize if you feel like that's harsh, but you know what? These dogs are trained to be around asshole fucking veterans with PTSD. So you can shut the fuck up or go call the cops. I gotta have quiet. These dogs know that. I don't even understand why this one is even barking. It's like you realize that we respond to noises. Veterans respond to noises, noisy noises. And it throws us off. So, and this dog is still, you got 2 years of training in these things, man. They can't believe it's still barking. And barking and barking and tearing shit up. If I had money to put on a dog like that, I'd be like, I want my money back. I wouldn't want to buy a dog. Don't buy a dog. If you want a dog, come to Mexico. I'll give you a pit bull. Give me a Rottweiler. But you really want a Belgian. Those are great service dogs. So let's continue, guys. And then listen, if you write me in the chat, I can read it. See, I don't know. I can't see anything. It's because my eyes are fucked. That's why. My eyes are fucked, you guys. I don't need to have told you that. I'm on a set of binoculars and a hazmat drill. And it's just practice. This is in the military. And one of my eyes, like out of nowhere, out of the blue, still had a fragment of metal in it. And it caused my eye to become blurry. And remember, I used to have 20/15 vision in both eyes. I had binoculars like this. This one's literally blurry. I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, okay, my eyes are fucked up. And it's not something you get surgery on. But I have to go to the eye doctor because every single thing is super bright. And that doesn't help me. It's kind of ridiculous wearing sunglasses inside all the time. Okay. Simps, you know what they are. If you want to know if you're a simp, go and see what your name is listed under in her phone. That's going to sum it up right there. Whatever your name is saved in her phone, that is who you are to her. What do you guys think about that? That's who you are. If you are Tim, mi amor, then you might as well be Tim, mi amor. Take it at face value, accept it, move the fuck on, and that's a good thing. But if you're Tim, the yoga guy, but you know you've had a relationship with this girl, you're getting played. I always warned people about getting played back in the day in Colombia. And people would get mad at me because I would say, listen, no one needs to. No one's going to judge you for what you do with your money or your body. But if you're a 70-year-old man and your girlfriend is 18, that girl is only interested in you for your money. And I know that the interchange between an older man, I guess, but that would be a grandpa. That is, you know what I mean? That's completely legal. Now, you and I might find that gross, but we see what's going on from the outside world. And I would tell people, don't send these girls money. If she's in Medellin, you're gone for a month, and she's telling you that she needs to suddenly pay for her grandma's operation, her sister is sick, her mom is in the hospital, her car broke down. There's always some fucking expense that they gotta come up with every single time because their kids are getting bigger, and she's probably not going to be getting child support from her husband very long. So she needs to replace that income with you paying her expenses at this point on. Because that's what initially happens. See, it's the evolution right before that fucking wall. You see, guys, I don't know if you've ever been inside of a firefighting laboratory or been in the Fire Science Academy before. I'm in the Fire Science Academy down here in Mexico. And if you didn't know that, that's where I am. Right now, I'm in the Fire Science Academy hitting against this fucking wall right here. The wall basically represents when a woman hits 30 fucking years old and her value has now come to its power and it's game over for them. Men typically want, but on average, ages 23 to 27, and that's from men surveyed, 1,000 men surveyed from 18 years old to 80 years old. And every single one of them conclusively said that those would be the ages that they wanted. So at 30 years old, by then, they've gone through this hoe phase, and it's not necessary to have a hoe phase, but many women do. They go through this hoe phase, and by the time they hit 30 years old, they're trying to get right with God and they're going back to Jesus. And now, you guys didn't know this, but the churches have been infiltrated by wokeism and by bullshit and by idolatry, and it's all going down in flames because, according to the book of Obadiah, they have forsaken themselves. They've forsaken them God, and they have put on all this fake shit, and they put fucking glued wigs on top of their head, and then they got, fake eyelashes like baby doll eyes. You know what I'm saying? So everything is wickedness. Everything is false. Everything on them is false. And I had to tell this girl, because listen, I dated a lot of Colombian models and shit when I was bodybuilding. And so all of them had fake eyelashes. All of them had hair extensions. All of them had surgery. All of them had been taking steroids. All of them had been lying to their husbands. And all of them had been using their boyfriends. So I am not going to sit there and say I was some fucking innocent bystander. I was a party to all of this, okay? Being in the bodybuilding world in Latin America, I would be able to go to every country in Latin America. If I won the competition, then chances are pretty good the girl that won the bikini competition was going with me that night. Because I'm fucking rich, I have blue eyes, and I'm in Latin America, which means you have a passport that says Americano, then your chances are better than average if it's at Mexico or Honduras. Follow me? So I met this girl, her name was Juliana Montoya. And if there was a girl that I would have simped for, it was her. So Juliana was a girl that lived in Frankfurt, Germany. She was originally from Cali, Colombia. And her parents were professional salsa dancers from the 1980s and were all over the world dancing. And they came to Germany. She ended up going to medical school. And I had never seen a girl like her before because she was Colombian and had long hair, was down to her butt. She had boobs that were natural and big. And she had a little teeny waist, and she had a round butt that was amazing, and she could dance like crazy, obviously. And the dancing thing helped me a lot to like to connect with a woman, and she was the kind of woman that didn't ever get mad or 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 get angry or anything. No, no, no. She fucking exploded. Okay? And I could be sitting here with you, talking to you on the at the pizza parlor or the coffee shop, and a woman would walk by. Now, you guys remember something. See, they can't trick me because I don't pay attention to women. I ignore them all, and I pretend like they're fucking invisible. So it seems to be working out really well as far as that game goes. Because it seems kind of dumb we would have to stoop down to this fucking level of having to ignore them to keep from having prosecution of fucking some sort because they lie about goddamn everything. And they put guys in jail who are innocent. So don't fucking try and defend this shit. Now, a simp would say, oh, that's not all women. And the simp enforcer would say, motherfucker, where are you at? I'm going to come beat your ass for what you said about that. That's what a simp and a simp enforcer fucking is and does and is all about. Why? Because they were raised by women. 80 or 90% of the people in their families are fucking women. Their aunts, their tias, their grandmas, their grandpa. Grandpa's not even fucking alive anymore. She put his ass in the grave early. He couldn't even put his shoes on at the end. You follow me? Breaking hearts. I'm over here closing deals and making friends. Jesus Christ. Simps will definitely make life difficult for a dude, especially when she assumes that she is his friend. Okay? And she has other friends just like you. This sucks to hear this stuff, but let's look at it in perspective. Okay, if it's not your girlfriend, like your committed girlfriend, like a girl that you say, that's my chick, that's my number one, that's my ace, that's the number one whore in the harem, that's my one and only, or whatever. That's your woman. You might get a whole lot of value just from that designation. And she might not contribute much, but, you know what I mean? She's giving you blowjobs when you want them. She's cooking you out of by default. She's ironing your clothes, ironing your underwear, ironing your socks, hanging all that shit up, and then give you another blowjob while the shit's drying. So you see what I'm saying? That might be a value that you find, you know what I mean? That's something that you want, that you've wanted in a woman. Oh, well, now you have one. Good for you. See, that would be an even exchange in my book, if that's all you wanted out of a girl. That's fine. And other people would say, nah, I could probably get the same amount of service out of a hooker. And again, dudes who are simps would say, well, that's disgusting. And they're pretending to be friends to these women in the hopes that the door is fucking open still. And you know, Steve Harvey put this perfectly. He says, men and women can't be friends. Let's put this to rest right here. The reason why is because I'm a man, and she goes, oh, it's because you're married. No, it's because you're fucking fine. I know what I'm capable of. And he says, you see, men and women can't be friends because if you leave, you're basically telling me you're leaving that door open. And if it's open and just enough, when the other motherfucker leaves, I'm jumping in. You know what's crazy? I always refer, you guys know that the green bean culture, the green bean is a new passport bros coming down. These are guys who, for the very first time, have broken out of the matrix. They got in their passport, they got on a plane, they went to Medellin, they went to Thailand, they went to the Philippines, and they're just like amazed. They fall in love. They're like, wow, I can't believe life could be so good. And you know what a simp would do? Would say, a simp enforcer, in defense of the American woman, the American wives, what they used to be, they would say, oh, that's because they just pick bad women. And you'd be right. But then again, it's 99% of them are now bad. And I don't have any skin in the game or any dog in the fight anymore, except for the way that men are being treated. Second-class citizens in their own fucking countries. They are being picked up for on charges that didn't do because they're being accused by women for... See, if they don't get their way and the shaming tactics don't work, listen, You got to get away from these people. Run. You got to get away from them as fast as possible. And if you get your passport and you come on down to Panama or you come on down to Nicaragua or wherever to find your footing, to find your space. And you know what? I got a friend named Brian that has been traveling to Colombia for at least the last 6, 7, 8, 9 years. And he doesn't have a permanent residence in Colombia because he works a really, really awesome job that he can't retire from for at least 5 more years. And the reason why he hasn't bought a house in Colombia is because he's not in Colombia to watch it. You buy a house in Colombia, you better hope to God that it's got like service or security service and things like that. And yeah, and see, he has also admittedly been a simp. And he's simp for women that are not good for you. And you know what's not? Oh, this is even better. Man, I forgot all about this guy. There was a guy that would contact me a lot. He wrote a lot of messages on my YouTube channel when I was bigger. I had a big YouTube channel. And he was coming to Colombia. He says, see, my main thing is that I would encourage you guys just to come down, not to be afraid to come down. And that's what my videos were all about. I wasn't talking about, not going to see hookers and not going to getting cocaine, getting fights and shit, and, beating up ladrones that are trying to steal from me and shit. Fuck no. I was just telling people don't fucking send money to girls that you don't know. That's pretty easy. But this dude loved to simp his fucking face off. He sends me a picture of her. And he says, what do you think about this girl? And okay, clearly, you don't have to be a forensic fucking auditor to figure this one out. She has earrings, a necklace, a bracelet, and a watch. And I asked him, which did you buy? He said, I bought her the watch. Figures. Great. Okay, I'm going to jump off of that shit because we don't need any more interruptions. This guy was paying $1,000 to this girl who had a boyfriend in the barrio that had a kid with this guy from the barrio. And at the last I'd heard, she was pregnant again from the barrio guys, the barrio boyfriend's kid, baby. The baby father came in there and shot the club up again and got her pregnant. This dummy, poor guy, was buying the mattresses, buying their fucking baby cribs, buying bottles and fucking stockpile diapers. Guy spent seriously above $5,000 a month on a chick that was using him. And he knew he was being used. And he's like, listen, look, I used to be a XYZ and I feel like my job was so bad and I just want to give back to society. I go, yeah, give back to society. Don't give to a girl who's using you. He would simp his ass off for this girl, knowing she was using him. Because he was so afraid of being alone. And I think that's what feminism did. It basically just monetized being alone. It monetized taking pictures of yourself. It basically is the mirror of Coqueta. If Coqueta had a magic mirror, which is probably a cell phone, this is a person in ancient times writing what they could see, with their mind, and these messages are coming through. This is crazy. This comes from a book. I believe this book might be fiction, but man, I'm gonna tell you something. If there was, okay, it's, by the way, it is a book about Solomon. King Solomon had like a special ring that he could control demons with. Like if there were demons, good or bad, he could control them and like use them to do whatever kind of wickedness. And I never knew that. In these stories, there are relics that apparently have magical powers. And I think it's awesome just to read about it. But Coqueta had, oh my God, what is going on here? Coqueta had a magic mirror, which was probably a cell phone. And she would trap men's souls inside that mirror. Now, Coqueta was the daughter of Lilith, who was before Eve. She was the rebellious spirit that would not lie down with Adam and wouldn't submit to Adam. So she was a demonic spirit that Jesus Christ! Shut the fuck up! My God. You know, you throw a fucking bunch of Marines in here with PTSD, they're gonna be barking right back. I swear to God. See? It's nothing. Is it nothing? Oh, God. Let's see if it's nothing. Probably so. Probably nothing. Okay. Hey, you want to go on live TV so everybody can see who you are? Who are we talking about? Oh, that was the car. I don't think I ever showed you guys that. I don't think I ever showed you guys that. Maybe I did. Okay. I've had all the cars I wanted in life. I've lived in big houses. I had more than life could ever offer. And it's basically everything life had to offer. And with that came women. And that's a cool part about, hey, I took it too far. Crystal Light Creatine. I took it too far. 5 grams of creatine. That's a teaspoon. When I had access to everything, I had a lot of shitty friends. I even had a taxi driver that I honestly thought was okay. He was a chauffeur. He had like a minivan. He'd pick me up, drag all my friends around, get us all in and out of places. Especially out of places. We got in trouble a lot. I used to get in trouble all the time. So you guys know, I was a troublemaker. You guys be sure to hit that like button. Simp culture and simp enforcers are pretty much going to be taking our place when all the passport bros leave. Passport bros are going to leave and not come back. They're going to find a way. I think what Kevin Samuels was trying to talk about as far as like starting their own banking system is a genius idea. And if they can, go for it. Well, anyway, guys, I'm the professor. If you got any questions, really quickly, do me a favor, write it right there in the chat so we can answer them. Groceries. Blue-haired Daniel guy? I don't know what that means. Okay, I don't know who Daniel is. There's a blue-haired guy named Daniel that's a simp. Mm-mm. Well, if you don't know if you're a simp, man, I'm telling you guys, if you think you are, for like that exchange of respect for money, or if you're paying for somebody's shit, look, I don't want to pay. You know what? I pay the Roqueros rent in her house. Okay, it's a whopping $150 a month. She has earned that for herself. That's nothing really, because when you do well, and you got somebody on your side that is helping you do well, because that's their job, is to help you do well. To help you do well and help you look good. That's their job. So you can help connect with other people, which is a purpose in life, period, is connection with other people. Simps, okay, that's it, man. If you're not sure, just look and see what your name is in her phone. And if that is Tim the Tool Man, means you fix her shit or you change the batteries in her smoke alarm in her house. That's the extent of her respect for you. So if you're Tim the mechanic, she doesn't respect you any further than the fucking any mechanic that changed her goddamn oil. So if you're the guy in yoga, she's a liar. She's got another boyfriend and she's lying to him. So you could be the other guy. I've been the other guy almost every time. I hate to say that, man. It's an awful thing. I was a Jody in the military. If you guys know what a Jody is, how many of you guys know what a Jody is? If you don't know what a Jody is a dirtbag that is railing your wife when you're deployed. And if you were deployed in the 90s in Germany, there was probably a 60% chance that if you lived in the military community, there was another guy railing your wife while you were deployed. Maybe 60, maybe 70%. There was a big, massive, like... during the war, they always have lots of babies being born. And you know what's crazy? Okay, here's one thing. There's a simp and there's a cuck. And a simp basically will give a girl anything just for being a girl and with the intention of hoping one day that he would have a chance to get with her. Okay, those are friends. Those are the friends in the friend zone that aren't really friends. Those are psychopaths. Not really friends at all. Psychopaths. Anyway, if you can't be manipulated by money or by sex, this is my best part. This is my best stuff, you guys. If you can't be manipulated by sex, you're not going to pay for anything. What the... Thanks, man. I would love to hear some Jerky Boys. Uncle Jerky. I don't know if you have anything to do with that, but that's hilarious. Jerky is good, too. Jerky food. But legitimately, a girl that cares about you is going to carry a lot of value, and it's going to be evident. It's going to be something that you would not have problems putting money towards. That's a difference. A lot of guys spend money on OF, talking to naked girls on the computer, and they're simping at $3 a month. Or whatever whores cost on OnlyFans. But you see, they are being drugged into that magic mirror. Now, this is the fucked up part about the magic mirror. The magic mirror is the kind of thing, it's a cell phone, and she's sending her pictures out, and your soul is being drugged into this magic mirror, which brings you down into the den of demons. This is where Coquetta lives, is in a den of demons. This is the daughter of the spirit of Lilith, the rebellious spirit that has been causing chaos in relationships, in all relationships in the United States. Because we're in Babylon, guys. In Babylon. And unfortunately, I think that everything's about to go. But it is what it is. So, simps would take the kind of abuse that a woman would dish out and hope that she would be able to... They just dish out all their money, all their time, and all their resources, and all their energy, and their attention, in hope for that good morning, precious text in the morning. Now, I did that shit before. I used to send girls, good morning, beautiful, and I would send it to 50 girls that are in my phone. And in the old days, girls would respond to that. Now, the simp culture in the internet basically is like, oh, I am so sick right now. Oh, I think I have a cold. They will have 500 guys offering to send her gift cards for CVS or whatever. I don't even think they have those anymore. Or whatever, to buy medicine. No joke. No, I'm not even kidding. Now, when I was in Colombia back in the old days, back when you had to go on Skype to talk on video chat, I would be sitting there not sitting there, I would be in these, they had a Casa de Cambio, and the Casa de Cambio had an internet cafe. And in each one of those internet cafes is a girl that is dollied up, there's a Colombian girls, talking to some old guy in Canada or some old guy in like Germany that's old enough to be her father or possibly her grandfather. And these girls are like tittied up and everything and got makeup on and I love you, puppy. And they would basically sit there and extract Western Union out of these men. And they would get 100, 200 US dollars a day per man. And I would stand in line because Casa de Cambio had a Western Union. And I would stand in that Western Union line. And what do you know? Every single one of them was sitting in that line. This is old days, guys. This is before OnlyFans, before any of that monetized sexuality shit. Garbage. So it's hard, man. I'm going to tell you, some of you guys got it hard because you want to have a girl's attention, but you're not going to get it without something that is more valuable than apparently her beauty is. So don't fall for that bullshit. Beauty isn't, all vaginas are the same. Every single one of them is exactly the same. All the way from Thailand to Congo. All the pussies are the same. Turkish pussies look exactly like Colombian girl pussies, and Colombian girl pussies look exactly like Venezuelan girl pussies. But I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter because none of this shit is important. The only thing important in life is connection with other people. That is the purpose of life. Connection with other people. And if you're a weak, emotional kind of guy that is, God damn it, you guys, sorry. A weak, emotional guy will end up being a simp because he'll get attention from a woman that's fake, and in exchange for resources. That's what it's all about. So if that is your case, ditch that girl and don't be codependent about it. That's the thing about it, is that people are codependent. Most simps are codependent. That's all it is codependency. That's a mental disorder. It's a serious issue. How do you break free from that? First of all, let's start saying no. Because if you say no and they freak the fuck out, that's the real person that they are. Okay, that's the end solution to simp culture, is to say no. And don't give a reason why, you know, the professor told me to say no and all this shit. No, motherfucker, just say no. If they tell you they want money, just say no. And if they freak out, the response that you get, the type of freak outs for saying no, is the person that person really is. That means that your value began with you with the wall on top of your fucking head and ended with, I'm not going to give you any more money, and therefore the relationship is over because that is the only value that you bring to her. I'm not even joking. If you bring no more value to her, she will block you, she'll ghost on you. You see what I'm saying, guys? There's no winning. But if you understand that you're emotional and you're looking for validation from a woman because you didn't get it from your father, because your father was alienated by your mother. So you took sides with your mother as your ally, who was not your ally, she was actually your enemy. In fact, a lot of men don't even realize that 70% of us were abused by our parents. Majority of the time it was by our mothers. And I am saying emotional abuse, belittling, and all kinds of horseshit. And I don't find that so surprising. Because my mother punched me right in the fucking face in public, in a restaurant, she said something about being in puberty. And I was like, Mom, and she punched me in the fucking face. Knocked my fucking mouth loose. So, I have been subject to a few things. Not sexual shit, thank God for that. But getting punched in the face, Fuck. That's why I probably took up Muay Thai, just to fucking learn how to defend myself from my own mother. But don't you find that suspicious? Don't you find that all of us have been trained in this way to believe in romanticism? If we believe in romanticism, we're going to do all the simp shit that simp culture tells us that we're supposed to be doing. Now, these dogs are never going to shut up, you guys. So keep that in mind. If you say no to the person that has been extracting money, time, or resources from you, you say no, and you mean it righteously. You say no to them. Never again will you have a problem recognizing whether or not you're being taken advantage of and you're playing a simp. Say no to them. The response that they give indicates the kind of person that they fucking are. So, anyway, I'm the professor. I got to get to the fire science today, guys, and nobody is going to come to school. Adios.